I have a John Deere part on my Ford V10. Works. I don't know if you guys are the same way, but a lot of times I just let problems persist and procrastination takes over, and then years go by and you end up with a problem that you have to eventually fix because you ran out of procrastination. So today's project on my 2003 Ford F350 with a V10 gasoline motor. It's an oil leak. The oil leak is coming from the part of the engine, and I'll show it to you real quick. So on the V10 and then Triton motors, they came up with this brilliant idea to put they call it an oil cooler, but it's not an oil cooler. They just married one of the coolant passages to the adapter that goes from the front timing cover all the way over to your oil filter. And there's a little plastic gasket that goes in that's got an O-ring embedded into it. And that's leaking on this truck. It's been leaking for about 5 years, and it's finally gotten to the point where it needs to be fixed. So I'll crawl underneath here. I'm going to show you where it's leaking at, and then we'll go through the process of fixing it. So I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to get on camera because it's kind of in a weird spot. But you can see right there, it's really, really wet. That is the front part of the oil filter adapter, or oil cooler. Is what they label it as. But there's 3 bolts holding it in right there to the timing cover, and it goes underneath that K-frame or subframe, whatever you want to call it. That big ass piece of metal right there goes underneath that, all the way back here, and our oil filter marries to it. Now, the reason I procrastinated about this is because the way to take it out is you actually have to take that motor mount off, those bolts right there, unbolt those from the engine right there, then jack the motor up, take the motor mount out. But before you do that, we got to take the oil filter off, let all the oil drain out of the cooler, and we need to drain all the coolant out of the engine because on the front lower coolant hose right there attaches to it. So I'm gonna start draining the coolant, pull the oil filter off, and then start taking that stupid ass motor mount off. Well, lo and behold, I had kind of rigged something on my truck a while back, and I completely forgot about it, and I told myself, I'm going to fix that later. I'll go ahead and order the part and get them on hand, and then I just never did. So now, it's the perfect time to fix it. I decided to take my air cleaner assembly off, because about every 90,000 miles on this truck, I've got to clean the throttle body. If I don't clean the throttle body, what'll happen is when I put it in reverse, the engine will bog down, and eventually it'll just die. And the only problem is throttle body's a little dirty. You don't even have to take the throttle body off on this truck. You can. There's a reusable gasket behind it. I just clean it on the truck as it is. I take that plastic cover off, open it up, clean that out. But I forgot there's a port that comes off right here, and mine broke. But it broke out of the valve cover, and it's not replaceable. You have to get another valve cover for the stupid plastic thing. So it just goes straight into for the intake. There's no actual valve to it. It's just an open hole straight to the valve cover. I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix that, but that's gonna be a separate video, and I'll have to take that valve cover off to do it. Still draining my coolant out. Oil filters drained out. I'm a big proponent on changing coolant, especially when you first get a used vehicle. People do all kinds of crazy stuff with their cars. They put whatever kind of fluid they can find. They take it to the best mechanic in their state that they know, that's, you know, a second removed Uncle Jim Bob, Bo Bob, or whatever his name is, and he has some magic sauce that he put in the coolant system, and it's better than NASA, or blah, blah, blah. I've heard all the stories before. From my experience, what happens, people will get a car, it'll be low on coolant, they'll go grab their damn garden hose, they'll come over, they'll stick it in it, they'll fill it up, and like, good to go. That's not good for coolant systems. Like, you could probably get away with that in an old Chevy 350 or something, and even then, it's still not good for them, but it'll get you by. The water you get out of the tap from your house has a lot of calcium in it, right? It's got minerals and other crap in it, and they put stuff in it. It's not good for your coolant system. You want distilled water and antifreeze. Now, you could cheap out. You could go get antifreeze concentrate and go to the store and get you some distilled water, mix up your own batch, and you save some money that way. If you're buying in bulk, it probably will save you money. Now, I'm mainly in the field, and I don't have time for that. It costs my customer more money for me to run to one place and then go get distilled water, or go to Walmart and go to one side of Walmart and back to the other. So it's just cheaper and more cost effective to get pre-diluted 50/50 antifreeze. I had a leak on this truck not too long ago, probably around 360,000 miles, where this heater hose right here that goes back to the heater core, it's split right here. So all I did was cut this hose a little short, stick it back down on there, and I filled it up with new coolant. So I'm not real concerned about changing my coolant out. Now once it's all drained out, I'll pull the coolant out and I'll look in it, and if there's a bunch of crap in it, then I'll just go ahead and replace it. Dealer's choice with whatever antifreeze that you want to use. There's a shit ton of antifreezes on the market. You try to find the one that your vehicle is called for. Now, it used to be a problem back in the day where you couldn't mix certain coolants because it would gel up and cause all kinds of hell in your engine. They've done away. From my understanding, all that's a thing of the past. They haven't done that in quite a few years. You can add any antifreeze you want to add with anything else, almost, and get away with it. On an older V10, I really don't think it matters what you put in there. I usually run Napa 50/50 diluted heavy duty diesel just because I buy it by the case. I always have some in the back of the truck and it's gonna work fine. So I don't know if I'm gonna change it out, but once that's done draining, we'll figure it out. Got all them bolts out, got the motor mount out. Just stuck a 2x4 under the jack under the oil pan. It'll probably be fine. I probably have to do this off camera, but you can see it's loose. Come on. Nope, I got it. And that's what it looks like. So it sits in a truck like this. You got a mounting, there's a stud here with a nut on it. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts holding it in. So you can tell this is the problem. This gasket is just squished down over time. And all our oil leaks are coming from right there. So your oil comes out of your oil pump, goes through here, comes down, goes through your oil filter, filters the oil, comes back up through here, goes in the block. So I don't know why they call this an oil cooler, because I mean, technically it shares the same mass as the coolant, which will kind of keep it cool, but it's not to me it's not a cooler. It's just they decided to make one huge piece of crap setup. This is your actual oil cooler. That's where your lines come in. I'm guessing because this is one piece. Now if you buy an oil cooler, this whole housing right here, it doesn't come with the actual oil cooler. So I'm going to put it in here, clean it up a little bit using my CRC smart washer. Get it as clean as I can. I'm not trying to get it super crystal clear, but cleaner than it was. And then I'll take some Scotch-Brite, scrape all that stuff off, and kind of give it a once over. And that's the finished result. Now, I'm not going to sit here and spend a crap load of time to make it absolutely perfect, but you can tell it's quite a bit difference. Now, those of you that aren't familiar with the CRC smart washers, they use a degreaser. They call it Aussie juice, and you dump 5 gallons of it in there. I think 5 or 10 gallons started up, and it has these mats underneath that little grate right there. And the mats are like filters, and they're replaceable. You replace them like every month or every week. I can't remember. Anyway, as you use it, it has these little microbes. The microbes get suspended in the Aussie juice, and they actually eat and consume any kind of oils or grease or anything. So you really don't have to clean it that much. And the filter on top traps all the particulates. I've had this since like 2018, 19, I think. Worked really good. It keeps the Aussie juice or the degreaser stuff in it at about like 101 degrees, 102. And you can take the cover off. You can select it higher, go to 118 or something. And it works great. But there is an issue, and it's not anything to do with the parts washer. I kind of thought it was when I first got it, but then I did some research and figured out that it's not. Whenever you're cleaning Ford aluminum parts, you can get it down. I mean, it looks, like brand new aluminum. Now, if I really went into all the nooks and crannies, I mean, I could get all of that stuff out and make it look like brand new, but I don't really care about it. I left this part on, this yellow tarnish stuff. Ford, on their brand new aluminum parts, they put some kind of coating, like a clear coat or something on the part. And if you use any kind of like stainless steel wire brush or some chemicals or something to clean everything up, you'll strip that coating off, and then when you put it back on your vehicle, it looks great for a couple of months, and then it gets this real chalky kind of like dingy look to it, and it doesn't look great. So if you care about that sort of thing, then get it all the way down to bare aluminum, and then shoot it with some clear coat or just get you some aluminum paint, you know, some high temp aluminum paint, repaint it, and it'll look good as new, you know, pretty much forever at that point. It did get cleaned up a lot better than it was. It's going to be a lot easier to handle, and the reason we clean parts is not just because to make it look nicer. It just makes it easier to go back underneath the truck and grab this because there's no freaking grease on it, right? Makes it really easy to handle at that point when things are really incredibly greasy, nasty, like everything slip, your hands get dirty, you need to grab a tool, you need to like, you're trying to like get that gasket in line with one finger, and like it's just clean the whole thing. Also on customer stuff, what I've noticed, if you really clean up all their parts and you put it back on and everything is clean when you get done, like they're pretty impressed and they think you did a better job. And I don't necessarily know if meticulously cleaning every single part you pull off means that you did a better job, but it sure looks nicer when you're done. So I'm gonna finish cleaning this guy up, and then when I get done, anytime I get done with any kind of degrease, doesn't matter if it's the CRC Smart Washer or just any kind of degreaser, Simple Green, whatever, I always either rinse it off with water or brake clean to get all the residue off of it, and then let it dry, and then shoot your paint on there and you're good to go. Here's our old gasket and our new gasket. You guys are doing this job. That's the part number, 70801. Originally I wanted to paint this aluminum colored, but I didn't have any aluminum paint. My son was at the store and I told him, hey, pick me up some self-etching primer and some aluminum paint, and he got there, took pictures of it and everything. And then I remembered you can't buy paint unless you're over 18. So I didn't feel like going to the store, and I had a can of John Deere green. So now I have a John Deere part on my Ford V10. Works. And for those of you that are curious, that's where it bolts to. All right, we got everything done. Alright, got everything together. So this is what I'm putting in my truck. The gasoline motor doesn't need heavy duty diesel, antifreeze. Only thing difference between regular antifreeze and diesel is the nitrites in it. They add some diesel coolant additive, DCA, to it, and either way it's not going to hurt a gas motor, especially not an older motor. But it is purple, so it looks cool. And we're done. It's holding coolant, no leaks. I'm not going to start it right now because I got a couple other things I need to do, like
me.
Her. On this valve cover, it's got this little port that broke off here, and it broke off a long time ago, and I glued it and it held for a while. But this just goes over to the air filter side of the throttle body. It's not for the PCV, nothing like that. So I'm almost curious if I can just cap that off, because it does have a PCV on it, so why do you even need that one? I think I'm going to take this valve cover off and see if I can fix it off the truck. Valve cover comes off pretty easy. Just some 10mm nuts. Get the harness out of the way and just slide right off. You also need to clean the throttle body real quick. What's so funny over there, Chuckles?
Them nuts, the outer body. What'd you say? What body?
Outer body.
What'd you say?
Now who's funny?
Underbody?
Throttle body?
Throttle body. These nuts, throttle body. That just sounds really dirty if I didn't know what you were doing.
There's a lot of dirty stuff in mechanicking. I'm not going to film cleaning the throttle body or that valve cover, just because I want to get it done.
I'm sorry. I need to shut up.
I like your ad lib. So I use this little spring tool, just a cheap tool off Amazon. Worked really well. If you guys want to buy one of these or interested in this particular brand, look down in the link. There'll be a click on that link, go over to Amazon, buy your own. Anyway, there's a bunch of links down below. Check them all out. Click on them, go over to Amazon, buy whatever. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and get out and fix something.